Okay, all right. Well, good morning, still morning. I am so excited that we are getting to come together today and talk about our winning day. Before we start talking about the winning day, I want to have a little bit of a hype call, a little bit of encouragement, and a lot of belief, because here we are at or close to the end of the month. And this is what is also known as in Plexus as the magic week. So much happens right here at the end of the month. It is kind of crazy. It makes this job a little bit more fun because you get excited. This is like the closing part of everything, and lots of things come to fruition during this time. Rank advancements usually have at the end of the month. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement wrapped up around the end of the month. And so I want you guys to tap into that excitement. I know over the last couple of months, maybe you haven't felt as excited, and that's okay. We go through seasons, no big deal. But we have a plan in place and we have action steps to take to help us get to where we want to be. Now, as a team, we're all rowing in the same direction. We're using this winning day, which is the secret sauce, the steps to success, whatever you want to call it. And if you do those things and do them consistently, you are going to see changes happen, okay? Sometimes they don't happen overnight. Sometimes they don't happen the same month. Sometimes they don't happen the same few months. But if you stick with it, there's no way for it not to come to fruition, okay? So I want to give you some complete confidence in that because I know that it's true. I have not only seen it in my business, but in these groups that I'm in, where all of these ladies are using these steps and doing this for the last 6 months, I am seeing incredible results from them as well. So I want you guys to be encouraged, okay? This type of industry, you can get a little bogged down sometimes because you're carrying the majority of the weight of your business because you're a business owner, and kind of comes with the territory, right? So that can be a little bit heavy sometimes. But the cool part about this industry is that you have people to lock arms with to help carry the burden, to have the excitement to build upon with each other. And we have cool things and incentives with this company that we can look forward to, right? I can promise you that I have never seen people be completely consistent and fail at this. I have never seen someone go all in and fail at this. So I want you to be encouraged to stick with it, to trust the plan and the process, and then be committed to yourself, because you're not going to wake up every single day motivated. You're not going to wake up every single day excited to deal with people's health problems. You're not going to wake up every single day and want to do everything on this list. You're just not going to wake up and want to do that. Okay. I don't wake up and want to do that. So I don't expect you to, but I do expect you to wake up each morning committed to your goals, your dreams, and to the promise that you've made to yourself and your family, right? Because if you're showing up and you're saying, these are the things that I want to see happen, and these are the things that I know that I can accomplish, then that is like an automatic promise to yourself. And as mamas, all of us are mamas on here. If we're making a promise to ourselves, that trickles down. 2 things. You're making a promise to your family, right? It's easier sometimes to keep a promise to other people. So if you need to shift your commitment outside of yourself and say, this is my promise to my kids, that I'm going to show them that I'm a mama that shows up, that puts priorities first, and that shows my kids that you can be successful when you are consistent, right? Because we expect consistency from our kids. We expect them to keep trying in their academics until they get it, right? We expect our children to keep trying to ride that bike until they get it, right? We need to have the same expectation for ourselves. So that brings me to my next topic with all of this, leadership. Okay. Every single one of you on this call or watching the recording, you are a leader because you have influence. Leadership is simply influence, the transfer of influence. You influence somebody in your life every single day. Whether it's you're influencing your children in the decisions that they make, you're having help and influence with your spouse with the decisions that you make inside of your home. If you, Victoria, I'll use you as a great example. As a waitress, you have influence when you stand at that table and help them decide what they're going to put into their bodies, right? You have influence. Your suggestions, right? Because you've put in the hard work to know what is on your menu, right? To make you a good employee. It's the same thing that applies here in Plexus. You got to know a little bit about the menu of what we're serving. But the main thing is you've got to show up with a heart of service in leadership. And your leadership is your influence, right? That's it. Beyond that, communication. So if you have influence and you embody your influence that you have, and you become a good communicator, you will rise in your leadership. And I'm going to share with you some things that, these are some things that maybe you don't want to know. But over the last couple of weeks in the sprint group that I am in, they have been heavily talking about communication. And I am going to share with you guys, I'm going to post it in our chat as well. But the ways we communicate with people speak volumes in the amount of leadership that we have and in the amount of influence that we have in that conversation in how we show up to communicate. And so I want to share with you guys real quick. I took a screenshot because during these calls, people take notes inside of the chat so that people can go back later if they get kicked off or on or whatever and see what has been missed. And it's kind of like we're all little minutes keepers of the meeting. And one of the things that was shared in there yesterday, let me get to it. Now I have it somewhere. Was how to communicate. The highest form of influence happens in person. Okay. So maybe you're like, I don't have a ton of time to spend on my phone and do all of this because I'm so busy out here. Well, you know what? Perfect. Because that is the best mode of communication. If you're around people all day, you are in the perfect position to position yourself in a place of influence to communicate with people one-on-one. Okay? Building friendships, building trust, building belief. So then that way, when they see you drinking that pink drink, or when they say to you, hey, what are you doing to get all of that energy? Or you know what? Or hey, how is your day going? It's okay, but I'm just exhausted. I'm this, I'm that. You're right there in the conversation. You have every opportunity right there in that conversation to use your influence to share with somebody the gift of wellness. Okay. The second highest form of communication is video calls, a Zoom like this. If you are meeting people online and you're meeting them for the first time, I'm going to tell you, I just did this and it was a little bit weird, but so the girl's out of New York. She's in a homeschool chat group that I'm in, and she's interested in an at-home business. Okay. So we've chatted a couple times back and forth via Messenger. And then today, before this call, I was like, or last night I asked her this, but today before this call, we got on the Zoom. I said, I would love to just get on a Zoom with you. We can see each other face to face because there's no way I'm coming to New York and there's obviously no way you're coming to Georgia. But I feel like if we could connect, then maybe we could just ask questions back and forth as if we were having coffee. And she was like, sure. Okay. So before this call, I was on a Zoom with a girl out of New York that I met in a homeschool group, and we chatted about the business. She may not get ready this month, but she's thinking about it. She's talking to her husband about it. They're asking questions. And after we got off the Zoom today, she's already sent me a message and said, hey, I have one more question. And then, I really appreciate your time. Brinley was up here with me. So she was like, your daughter's so cute. She reminds me of my 5-year-old. We were connecting, right? We're building a friendship. Okay. And she is somebody that I would love to work this business with because we have very similar lifestyles. And so I feel like we've been connected for a reason. So I'm excited about that. So video chatting, get people on a video chat if you don't have time to be out in the world. Okay, maybe your life is the opposite. You're super busy. You can do a FaceTime. You can do a Zoom. This third highest form of communication is phone calls. When your friends tell you they're interested in the products that you have, or they're interested in learning more about it, I challenge you to say, girl, I would love to share more about it and see if this would be a good fit for you. When's a good time to chat? We heavily depend on text messages because it's easy for us. But if we want to build our influence, we have got to open our lines of communication. People are desperate for connection. And the best way to build belief with somebody is to connect with them. You know it's true. I know it's true. How much more belief do you have since we've been out of convention? Because we connected. When we get on a call like this and we're looking at each other, when we talk on the phone and we're talking about life versus when I send you a text message, there is a difference. A huge difference at that, right? So I encourage you guys, my kids are loud. They are needy. They like to fight. They like to do all kinds of normal kid things when I am on the phone. So when I get on the phone with somebody, especially somebody I don't know real well, or somebody I'm trying to get or help them with their steps and get them started, I just go ahead and let them know, hey, you know what? One of the best things about me doing this, I just want to forewarn you, is that my kids are always with me. Like there's never not a way for them not to be with me. So if I have to excuse myself for a second, I always mute it, and say, and handle a kid situation. I'm just asking for grace because this works so well for me, but sometimes, I still have to do that mom life thing too, but usually they're pretty good, just kind of preface it and say, but I may have to pause us for just a second so I can handle a kid thing. And then I'm gonna come right back to you. If I'm on the phone with somebody and they're always like, oh my gosh, yeah, no worries. I have kids or I get it, whatever. And it's great. But what I'm also doing is I'm planting those seeds with that friend saying, anybody can do this and it fits right in because here I am on the phone and my kids are running around doing whatever, or they're splashing each other in the pool. Everyday mom life. I can fit it all in. It doesn't have to look perfect. Honestly, I don't want it to look perfect. I want it to be messy because I want all the messy mamas to come and think that this is normal, right? All right. So the fourth highest level of communication would then be voice texting. Why? Because it makes you sound like a human. Because sometimes over text, we can be short or we can be too lengthy. In a voice text, you can quickly express what you're saying to that person and they can hear your tone, right? There's something a little bit more about texting someone saying, yeah, I believe these will absolutely help you with that. And me being on a voice text saying, Sally, oh my goodness, yes. I absolutely believe that this is going to be the thing that was missing. And I can't wait for your first 30 days and see what you experience. Okay, there's a difference. Then if it all else fails, then send the text message. If there is fires going everywhere in your life, or you're driving down the road and you can't be hands-free or whatever, and you've got to pull over, your kid's crying, or you got to handle it later. Hey guys, don't forget, you can handle it later also. But at the very least, text message. Make the text message be your last level of communication, okay? Because this is a connection business. And when someone gets started with you, when they hit purchase, sign up as a VIP, whatever, they're putting their trust in your influence. And that is when their journey begins, is when they get started. And we're going to shift into that just a little bit, because something Genevieve explained yesterday that I feel like everybody needs to hear, because sometimes we get really caught up in our numbers and where we want to go. And we want to make sure that we're setting goals every single week. We want to make sure that we're setting goals every single month. And then every 3, 6, 9 months, 12 months, whatever, that we have a long-term goal that we're working towards, because the week to week can get a little hairy. The month can get a little hairy, but you will see change from one year to the next. Okay. And you want to make sure that change is positive. And in order for that change to be positive, that's what we're here doing. We're learning about the winning day, the secret sauce to the secret successful recipe, right? But what we need to understand is that if we're chasing orders, we're becoming transactional. If we're trying to close somebody and close somebody and close somebody, I get that word is part of sales, and that's fine, because you can remove that emotion from that, and that's fine, because I talk about, selling, and I'm totally good with the words. I have no emotion around all of it. I'm good with it. Closing. As long as the word closing means that you're just getting that micro commitment closed, and you know that the next thing is coming, and that when you sell the products to somebody, that is not closure. That is beginning. That's the start. That's putting the key in and cranking the engine, okay, before you can even get to where you're trying to go. Orders are transactional. Signing someone up as a VIP, getting a customer, that is people committed. The worst thing that we can do is get somebody to order this month that's going to turn around and not order next month. Getting someone to purchase from you this month and they not order next month means that that person was just a transaction, and we don't want that. That's not a stable business, right? So when we're getting people started and we're communicating with them, sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, maybe this isn't your best month, because I want you to be fully committed to this. And I don't want you making a one-time purchase that, maybe isn't in the best interest. Okay. You got to build trust with people. And sometimes it's knowing when their best yes is and when their best yes isn't. Now, if they're like, no, I want to get this and I'll figure it out. No, that's fine. Great. Let them get it. They got to make their own decision. But let's not be so focused on getting orders as we are as developing customers, because you want people that are going to be placing orders with you for a long time. That's that residual income, and that's residual health change for them. And that is also how that person reaches their health goals, which then can in turn help them reach financial goals and your financial goals, right? But if we look at our month and we think, okay, I'm going to have to get 3 orders, then we are looking for transactions. But what we need to be looking for is 3 people that you can help change their health. Okay. So when we're setting our monthly goals, we need to make sure that before we even try to do our winning day, at the beginning of each week, we need to have our hot whatever list, right? We need to have our hot 10, hot 20, whatever your goals look like. You need to know who you're going to be reaching out to every single month or every single week. If you know that you have a Sunday and you've got a couple of hours, maybe make a list of 50 and then work it each week, 10 a week, right? 12 a week. But you've got to know who you're reaching out to. You can always add people as people are messaging you, but you need to have a plan and then allow for the people to come to you, right? But you've got to have a plan of who you're going to be reaching out to. And I'm going to share with you a little bit during the winning day on what that looks like, okay? So the first thing you've got to do is know your who. You've got your why, now know your who. Get your list of 10 people. So for a month, that'd be 40 to 50. So however that looks for you at the beginning of the month, we're coming up on the beginning of the month. If you don't have your 10 people for this week, I encourage you to write it on down today and then keep working it next week. I also like to have a little column of people that haven't been ordering that have purchased from me, I call them the white lines. I write their names down because there's going to be a point in my winning day that I'm going to have something to do with them. Then I write down potential business builders, people who I believe could use this opportunity, whether they are on Plexus or not on Plexus. Maybe they're on the products and every month they're having to pick which products to buy, but they've already told you they're not interested in sharing it. They're still going on my list because I'm going to drip and build belief, because I can tell you the first conversation is not typically when somebody says, yes, sign me up to help. I want to help other people. It's like the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th conversation. It's a year later conversation. It's whatever, but never stop sharing with them. Okay. Even if they stop taking the products, we'll go into that in a few minutes. Have a business builder list. Not only is this good, but writing it down. Like when God puts something on your heart, He expects us to take steps in obedience. So putting these people's names down is our steps of obedience. It's our steps saying, you're trusting me with this plan, and I'm putting this plan into action. And here's the people I feel on my heart that I would like to see, that either I know they have health goals, or I would like to see, them fulfill some health goals or some financial goals or whatever, right? These people's names are here. These are people, I'm looking at their names. I'm thinking of these people. If you need to, pray over that list, right? But put your plan into action. All right, so now here's the what and the how. What are we going to do? The winning day. This is the sheet that I want y'all to use. If you like a different sheet, fine. But for the next few weeks, let's use this one, these two right here, because they have time increments on them. And we're going to talk about that. And this is going to be the part that you're probably going to be like, ooh, but I need you to trust me. Okay. One or two things is going to happen. You're either going to work more or work less by figuring out this winning day. They're both going to be uncomfortable. So if you're working your little hiney off and spending hours and hours on Plexus a day, it's going to be uncomfortable to work less. Okay. If you're not spending much time on it, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but you got all these big goals, it's going to be a little uncomfortable because you're going to work more. There's going to be a balance here, right? And I'm going to show you. And your more may just be with more intention. Your less may be with less frustration. Okay. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to start it. I'm just going to go through all 7 steps. Okay. And I want you to understand that within this is like a 2.5-hour plan. Okay. This is the plan that is shared at Gold School. That means that if you're at Gold, going for above that, this is where Plexus expects you to be in your business. Okay. This is where they expect you to be. If you are wanting growth, if you're content where you are, this doesn't apply to you, right? Now, if you are at silver going to gold and you're ambitious and you really need this to happen, then this can still be your expectation. But don't, okay, I say that, but I'm going to get into why, okay? But don't feel committed or married to it just yet, okay? Get married to it when you get closer to gold, all right? And I'm going to tell you why as we go along, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I don't want you to be frustrated, because right now your network may not look the same as somebody who is Gold's network. Okay. It's just a different basket of fruit at the moment. You just haven't gotten to where you put more fruit into your basket, but I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to fill your funnel to where you can be here, because here's the deal. Every single person, I think I have buzz or something. There's something on my nose and I apologize, and it's recording and here we are. Anyways. Okay. So every single person needs to be at Gold School. Okay. I have watched the videos from it. I get the privilege to hear some of the speakers from it in this group that we're in, and they share the information and stuff. Imagine like a one-day convention with 50 people and all of corporate just there to love you. And then I saw Rubies on the Rise, which I'll never get to go to, but all of you will go to at one time or another. And I don't get to go to with you on to that. So they don't let anybody come with you on Rubies on the Rise. So I'm kind of sad and bummed because I saw what all they gave them. And I'm just going to say that when y'all get to Rubies on the Rise, I need y'all to beg, plead, and borrow for all those gifts, because I would love to have those pink drink earrings and all the amazing things that they got. Like, I have so much FOMO and I can't go. And so I'm really kind of sad about that. Like, everybody's like, why can't we go? But it's something that you'll get to do. And how fun is that? And it's in Arizona, right? And it's 2 days. So it is an incredible experience. And they have a different level of speakers and encouragers there. And it is a smaller, more intimate group of people. So I encourage you, like, I don't know, your plan needs to be Rubies on the Rise. Like, let's get to Gold School, and then Rubies on the Rise needs to just be like right after that, because y'all are going to want to be part of that. 100% part of that. All right. So number one, here's the steps. Number one, sow seeds for later. Okay. This is an important part. We're going to look at this as a recipe, right? I used the analogy in our last chat, but I want to go over it again. This is your recipe for success. This is basically grandma's old-fashioned recipe for the best dang cake you've ever put in your mouth, right? If you got grandma's recipe, she gave you her recipe, it's trusted, it's foolproof, and it comes out perfect every single time. What are you not going to do? Well, you're not going to skip the eggs. You're not going to skip the flour. You're not going to forget to grease the pan, right? You're going to do it just like grandma says to do it on that weathered index card with that gorgeous handwriting they don't teach kids to do anymore, right? That is what you're going to do. You're going to stick to the recipe, okay? This is grandma's award-winning pound cake recipe on the beautiful index card with beautiful handwriting. Stick to the recipe. Don't skip an ingredient. Don't forget to butter the pan. Do this. I don't care if you look at it and go, that is stupid. Do it anyways. Or you say, I can't do that. Do it anyways. Just do it. Okay. Practice makes progress. And there's things on here that your personality and your, I think it was Brooke Hemingway that was talking about that on that sales thing. Your ego is going to step in and go, no, girl, don't do that. But I want you to know that's your ego, that's your fear, and it's trying to keep you in the safe zone. There's no success in the safe zone. Success is over here in the danger zone. If anybody has seen Top Gun, we like the danger zone. Go get in it. The water's warm. Come with me. All right. So number one, sow seeds for later. That means that you are going to engage with prospects on social media, like and comment on other people's posts who follow you, follow a hashtag on Instagram, and comment on current posts to start a conversation or message with someone in a comment. Okay. Because this is intended for gold and above, the expectation is that you are on Instagram and working on Instagram as well. If you are not, it is okay. I don't want you to go right now to Instagram and try to create something. There is things that you can still do on Facebook in this 15-minute increment. If you are finding that you are spending way too much time on this, any of this, I need you to start setting timers on your phone. Set a timer for 15 minutes. And do not, I repeat, do not get caught on the scroll hole. And y'all know what that is. Don't start clicking on an ad and going here and going there. Stay focused. If you need to set your timer for 3-minute increments, 5 3-minute increments, so that at 3 minutes it buzzes and you go, oh wait, oh my gosh, I just went down the Spanx rabbit hole because they're on sale. You get back to where we're going, get back. If that's what you need to do until you train yourself to stay on task, okay? It is just a matter of training, and that is okay. You can have your little box, do 5 little boxes, set your timer where it goes off every 3 minutes and get yourself back on task, okay? Maybe you start doing well and you just need 3 boxes in 5 minutes each. You've made progress, right? Until you get to where you can be trusted for 15 minutes on social media without getting lost in la la land, okay? On Facebook, what you can do is go on Facebook. If y'all are on I know some of you are on your phones, so I mean on the Zoom on your phone. So if you're not, you can go on Facebook. There's a little icon up here that has a little search button, okay? Let's say that migraines is something that you connect with people well with, okay? You just type in migraines, search, go to post. The first thing it's going to do is bring up things about you, your post, but then it's going to bring up your friend's post. So if any of your friends have ever posted about migraines, it's going to pop up when you filter it with post, okay? And you just scroll through, don't get lost. If you find like an amazing post for later, come back to it. Don't do anything with it right now, okay? We're just scrolling through. We're looking for some people, or maybe you want to go over to, you can go over, let's see, migraines, you can do, maybe you want to start doing some more stuff with pregnant and nursing mamas. So you could type in breastfeeding help. You can find other people on Facebook, kind of like you find people on Instagram, okay? That is one way to search Facebook and find people, okey-doke. Another thing that you can do is, because I want you to be intentional, and now that we're trying to unfollow people from Plexus, not unfriend, unfollow. There's a difference. You should be seeing more people, right? Okay. The other thing that you can do is you have your hot 10 list, okay? So if right now your funnel feels pretty good, then go work your hot 10 list. Go work this list right here. You can combine this part with kind of the adding value part, because you're gonna be making a post during that. Another way to sow seeds is to work that hot 10 list. So you'll be like, go to your person on there, your first person that you have, go search that person, go love on their post. Go like and comment on their profile picture. Girl, you look great. How's life going? Go like and comment random things. You know, if you notice that they've been posting a lot about, you know, maybe they're posting about how financially things have been hard for their family, or you see them posting a lot of like political stuff where they're complaining about the way the world is right now, that's a great indicator that something's uncomfortable in their life, and it's probably their finances, right? It's probably because times are tough and things are tight, right? We have a solution for that. So you're connecting that person's algorithm to yours. That's what sowing seeds for later does. If you look through there and they've got friends that are commenting on their things, you can, let's say that she makes a post about her weight. And you go in there and you see she's got 85 friends that are in there like, oh my gosh, girl, I tried keto, blah, 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 or this, and blah, blah, blah. And what you can do is put in her comments, you can post your before and after and say something like, you know, I feel like I tried a lot of those things, or I've tried a lot of things, and I finally found something that actually helped me lose weight and I've kept it off. That's all you say. That's all you say. And you post your little picture, right? You didn't tell her anything about gut health. You didn't say anything about Plexus. You didn't do anything else. You just post your picture, because now what's happened? Everybody in her friends list under her comments right there, they're all seeing that too. And then you go up in her little comment section and you see that her friend Kelly is like, girl, I feel like I've tried everything. I guess I'm going to stay fat. I can't tell y'all how many times I see people with that. And I will send the little care emoji on there, click reply and say, oh no, friend, I hope not, with a little smiley face. Okay. What that does, I'm just sending her some kind of love. Or the next girl, oh my gosh, that is hilarious, but I doubt that, LOL or something, just some random comment. But what happens is Facebook tells that girl that you commented on her post, and then now you've made a comment on the post. So what is she going to go do? She's going to go look and see what the comment was, and then she's going to go see what your comment is. And then guess what else Facebook's going to do in the next few days? They're going to suggest you as a friend to her. You've connected your algorithms. Okay. There's ways to work Facebook. Okay. So you can do that. So you're adding value to your hot 10 list. And then if you find a post of interest, add value to her post. Gain friends from that. The other thing you can do with sowing seeds for later is you can work those private groups during that time as well. Go into your private groups, your mama groups, your moms and boys groups, your homeschool groups, whatever your groups are that you're into, and go add value in there. You can't spam people in there. You can't really talk about anything to do with Plexus in there, but you can build friendships in there, and then those people will add you as a friend. Okay. All right. 15 minutes. That is it. Unless you are doubling your recipe. Okay. So let's say this. Let's say that you have about 10 minutes. Then set your timer for 10 minutes and do that for 10 minutes. But don't skip any of the steps. When I say half the recipe, I mean half the time of each ingredient, right? Because if you're baking grandma's cake, you still have to have all the ingredients to make it come out. But if you cut all of them equally in half to where you had a smaller portion, you're still going to have a cake. It's going to be a baby cake, but you're going to have a cake, right? It's something. Let's say you got big goals. You've got big goals, but you've got big time allowance for your big goals. Okay. You can have big goals, but if you look at your week and you're barely squeaking by the winning day as it is, or you're barely squeaking by the half the recipe, don't set yourself up for guilt and frustration by having unrealistic expectations with your goals. If you have big goals and maybe they have to happen, then you need to figure out over here in life your time allowance to be committed to that. If that means getting a bigger sibling, like I have to do sometimes, to play with my kid or watch my kids or read a book to them or something for 30 minutes. Not saying 2 and 3 hours, 30 minutes. You can knock 2 of these out. You can do the phone calls, the things you can't do when your kids are busy, or when you're having to sit and homeschool them or check work off, or when you're at work and you're not supposed to be on your phone, right? So maybe you take your lunch break and you've already pre-planned. You've got your shake in the freezer at work. You've already set it out because it's thawing out because you got health goals. Maybe you've got a fruit or something with it, and you go take your time at work to work your business and eat your lunch at the same time. Maybe you get like a 15-minute break here or there. Pick a 15-minute opportunity and work your business. So that way, when you get home and you're tired, or you've got 15 minutes in between appointments and you're having to sit and wait, maybe in the car, maybe in line, maybe here or there, pick up your phone, work your business. I'd rather see you working your business and doing you need to be adding value and making posts, but communication, I would start with that first. That's like the flour and the eggs, right? Okay. So you get noticed by adding value to people's lives. Stay in social relationships with your prospects. Make a daily intentional social post. Make your prospects the hero in their own journey. Additionally, make 2 reels or 1 live per week. Your goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire. Don't forget the goal. Educate, entertain, inspire, right? So most people on Facebook do not care about the ingredients in our products until we get into a private message. So posting about the ingredients of our products and things like that, probably going to keep scrolling by, because here's the deal. Like if I see my friend post about makeup and she's just posting about the colors of the palettes or whatever, it's really not catching my attention. But when she goes live and puts on her makeup and makes herself look like a totally different person, that just caught my attention, right? So keep in mind, what catches your attention is catching their attention. Be relatable. When it talks about being the hero in their journey, share that hero experience. So like your post, as a mom, you can share a heartfelt story and then how it's helped you. Going live in your stories and talking about the financial opportunity. Let me see. Let me give y'all some examples here on this. I did one today about the financial thing, but you want to come from your heart. Like, here's a good post. My heart goes out to the mom who's feeling less than because she doesn't look or feel her best. Or the dad that is so busy that he feels worried that he's not making his health a priority. I have friends out there that aren't hitting their weight loss goals and are sitting at a plateau. They're losing hope because nothing they have tried in the past has helped them actually fall back in love, or sometimes fall in love for the first time with how they feel or look when they step into the mirror. Friend, if this is you, we should chat. Before and after picture. Okay. It's heartfelt, right? Instead of check out my before and afters. I lost 50 pounds. Here's my pictures. Message me for details, right? There wasn't an emotional connection there. People are looking for connection. Find ways to be empathetic, to be sincere, and to emotionally connect with the person that you are trying to talk to, right? Imagine you and that person sitting over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee at the shop. Talk to that person. Make them feel like they've been drawn into your Facebook with you, right? Let's see. I'm going to give y'all some more, and I will take, so we work on these little things in our group. We have to share them. It's all fun and games until they start critiquing it. You can talk about, I did mine on the financial pinch, and I just went live in my stories and did it that way. You can do it however you want to, but just make sure that 1, we're compliant, and 2, that it's coming from a place of your heart and your connection when you're making the post. And think about the person that you're speaking to. Like, what would you want that to sound like? What would make you feel confident and trust your words? All right, so it should not take you more than 15 minutes to do your stories and make your post, okay? If you end up with a little extra time, then maybe use that extra time if you want to go find the content that you need for later on in the week. I keep an ongoing thing of posts, whether I found them and tweak them, or if I find something like, here's another thing. I'll see ads pop up, you get ads that pop up that sometimes it's a celebrity promoting something and everything. Those words have been specifically chosen to trigger something inside of you. Somebody has paid millions of dollars to put that ad out there. That means that it works. So I like to copy it, paste it into my notes, and make it sound more like me. But I keep those magic words in the flow of the ad, because work smarter, not harder, right? Okay, so if you find something like, whether it's, I saw one recently for like a HelloFresh subscription box, and I was like, oh, that's a great post for Pivotal. So I copied it, made it more about Pivotal and myself, and plan to use it in the near future. Okay, because somebody's paying tons of money to make that HelloFresh ad worthy of your time, right? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is introduce 3 people to your Plexus vision. So you are actively searching for people who are searching for you, meaning what you have. Okay, it is on you to find out why they want to check out Plexus. You can vary your communications methods. Be sure values match and keep it authentic. Trust the system and go for no 3 times, meaning you got to get really comfortable with no before you're going to get a yes. And until you stop being so disappointed about that no, it's going to be really hard for you to be really consistent with this. But you got to break up with the emotion of no. Okay, because no can be not right now, or no can be it's just not in my best interest. And that is okay. That is totally okay. So what I hear when someone says no is next. That means that I'm moving on to my next person. And that other person over there, we're still friends. We're great. No big deal. She'll keep watching. She might change her mind. I don't know. I'll keep dripping along the way. But I'm not going to spend any more of my precious time and energy worrying about why she said no. So go for 3 no's. Okay. When you're introducing someone to your Plexus vision, most of the time, this needs to have to do with the business. This is where I would absolutely be trying to find people who are, and this could be people who are already on the Plexus products. Maybe this is just having a fresh conversation with Sally. Maybe you told her when she got started that you love helping people get their products paid for because you knew this was a financial burden for her. And maybe she's quit buying 1 product and is only buying 2 products. So she's not getting the best of her membership, blah, blah, blah. It's been a few months. I'm going to circle back. Hey, Sally, first of all, this is just kind of my monthly check-in. This is a good place for a phone call, okay? I wanted to touch base with you and see how things are going. I know the last couple of months, you've loved this, this, and this, and you've noticed these wins. But I know that times are really tight right now for most people. And I know that you've had to cut back on some of the products that you were really enjoying. And, you know, that really burdens my heart for you. I'm just curious. I know we had chatted in the past. Maybe this would be for you and maybe it's not. But sharing the products with a few friends has given me some financial relief from purchasing the products. And I'm able to get the things that I love. Do you think now would be a good time that you would be open for me to share with you a few ways that we could help you do that I could help you do that? First, get her buy-in before you start telling her how. You know, okay, I mean, like, what do you have to do? Am I going to have to sell something? Because I don't want to sell anything. That's what Sally's going to say. Or, you know, I really don't want to post about it on social media. You know, I'm not really on there that much. Great. You have lots of options. Offer to do an old school sip and see for her. Hey, you want to have some friends over, like for coffee? I see y'all play bunco on Saturday evenings. What if I come a few minutes before? You think all your friends would come? We could just talk a little bit and see about swapping out some coffee for a pink drink. Or, you know, what do you think about doing a little messenger event? Or if I send you over a text to send out to a couple of your closest friends, do you think that would be comfortable? Then give her some options or some solutions to whatever hesitation she gave you, and then go from there. Maybe it's somebody new. Maybe it's just somebody that you know, and she's just a natural go-getter. Maybe she don't need the financial income, but you know, this girl is like a rock star. She's never late for work. She is on time. She's always willing to help somebody else. She's balancing a lot. Like, she's just a natural go-getter. Okay. Hey, Katie. Girl, we haven't connected in a hot minute. How are you doing? Tell me about life. Just tells you all about life. Okay, that's awesome. I don't know, I'm not even sure. The algorithm is so weird, but I know you're on Facebook and I love seeing your stuff, whenever it pops up, but I'm not sure if you've seen, but here recently, I have been sharing some products online through an online storefront with health and wellness that I have absolutely fallen in love with. And I know right now times are tight for a lot of families. Maybe they're not for you, but I was just curious if you would be open to hearing a little bit more about doing the same. Or would you be curious about having your own online storefront where friends could shop health and wellness products and you would be compensated? Whatever you feel like the conversation would be worthy of saying. Look for people who need it and look for people you think might want it. Maybe you know that Katie is a social butterfly and probably doesn't care about money. She's going to swipe the credit card if the debit card ain't going to work. Like, that ain't going to be her thing. Then you're going to lean in with, I just got back from convention and it was the most fun ever. I would love to share with you some memories of some things that we experienced there and want to see if maybe you would be open to seeing if the fun that I'm having would be fun for you. Like, you find your own words, but don't narrow it down to just products. Open your mind to seeing people who need the fun, need the financial aspect. Maybe it's just a mom that needs something of her own, right? Okay. All right, the number 4 is moving people to the next step. This is an hour. And I know that seems like a long time, but this is because there's going to require more communication than the rest of the things. Okay. So this is where you're looking to go see who you've been having conversations with, who maybe you haven't started that conversation with, but it's just getting the person to the next micro commitment. That next micro commitment could easily be sending a video. It could be going to a private event. It could be offering a sip and see. It could be sending them steps and saying, girl, I know this is important. Let's get you on your next journey to wellness. Okay. It can be people who have been retail customers that need to upgrade to VIP. It could be people who need to get their cost of their products covered. This is where you just move people to the next step. You want to spend at least an hour on this. So instead of thinking how many people, do it in the time increment. All right, the next one is third-party validation. We have the Why Plexus, Why Now calls. We have book club. We have messenger events. We have peek into Plexus. We have tons of opportunity for third-party validation. I know some of these aren't on that list, so you may want to write some of those down because these are all corporate ideas, but we have messenger events. We have the reset group. We have peek into Plexus. We have lots of different validation, right? Maybe you have somebody who's under PB every month and you want to share with them about lean shakes. Add them to the lean shake recipe group. Let them see the value in adding lean shakes to their subscription, right? Okay, so that's only like 15 minutes. So just pick a few things where you need to add that validation, invite people to your messenger event, offer to do a sip and see for somebody. Ask if you can send them over to peek into Plexus if there's somebody new or somebody that's been on the fence. The other things is definitely, if you can, if you don't have the time to chat with somebody, invite them to the Why Plexus, Why Now corporate calls. They're on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The graphic goes out every single week on the times on that. Okay. I think it's might be in Rockstars. If not, I can find it, but it's the same phone number every single time. Okay. And you can get them on that call. All right, number 6, stay relevant in social feed. 3 value-based stories per day, build credibility and trust, and always keep it simple. Okay, so your stories are where you show up and be yourself, right? This is where You know, if you're a homeschool mom, maybe you're taking pictures of you homeschooling your kids, or maybe you're sharing a recipe, or maybe you're showing yourself at work because you are a hard worker. Maybe you're talking about some of the fun things that you do outside of work. Maybe you're talking about your toddler's latest antics, right? Whatever. This is where you build community and trust with your people, all right? You also have the opportunity in there. That is where if you want to post a little graphic and educate somebody on the products and their ingredients and what they do, stories is the perfect place to do that. All right, duplication. That's the last one. A business cannot grow without duplication. Spend time teaching your business builders how to do things that you are doing. Make it your goal to get your people to be where you are. Okay. People raise for praise. If that means that when you're doing your check-ins with people, your job is to be their cheerleader, not their teacher, their cheerleader, okay? I can't make y'all do anything. I can come in here, I can pass on information that I've learned, but whatever you decide to do with it is on you. I'm going to cheer you along the way, whether your goal is here or your goals are over there, right? But the thing with it is when you are trying to develop your leadership, your team, whether it's a team full of VIP customers or you have a couple of people who are sharing the products with you, always find something positive. Even if you have to be like, you know, maybe we need to change things up a little bit over here. Make sure you are cheering them on, okay? And I want to give you a tip. When people are not doing the things that you think they should be doing, you can be disappointed because that is a human feeling, but you are not allowed to be frustrated. If you feel yourself becoming frustrated, then you are emotionally attaching yourself to their outcome. And their outcome, as long as you are doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, their outcome is on them. As long as you've given them the information they need, they're on the right products, and you're checking in, the rest of it's up to them. It's just your job to be their cheerleader. Girl, you got this. I believe you can do this. You would be great at sharing these products. Your social media is beautiful, girl. I'd love to see you share that pink drink on your post. Girl, you would thrive in our Plexus community. With your bodacious, outgoing personality, you would fit right in. Drip, 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 right? Just keep being her cheerleader. I know right now you're experiencing detox, and that's tough. I'm going to send you a video, but I want you to know that I still believe that you're on the right track. That's it. Simple cheerleading solutions. Okay. We don't want to try to convince them or manipulate the conversation. We just want to give them confidence, continue to communicate, and the right tools to keep themselves taking themselves to their next success, right? Okay, so the only little note thing I have here is the last thing I was going to leave y'all with is grit. This business takes grit because it is going to be hard a lot of times. But guess what? It's okay for things to be hard because nothing easy or nothing really amazing ever comes easy, right? Nothing in life, really, it just doesn't. But if you stay committed, you stay consistent, and you learn to communicate with people, the art of communication, there's a whole book on it, then you will be wildly successful. I promise. But it's those three things. All right, questions or anything real quick? Because I know this went a long time because there was lots of steps. Okay, what did you call the fourth list of keeps to write down? Explain that question. Okay, so you are probably referring to the ongoing list, and then I had a white line list, and then I have a business builder list.
Yes.
So there's 3 lists, but I was saying within my business builders, those people could be broken up in people who are already taking the products and people who are not currently on the products. So I just kind of put a star by the ones that are on the products. Okay, any other questions? All right, anybody got more questions? I know this is a lot of information, and maybe your questions will come in the next few days. You can put them in the leaders chat. That's totally fine too. We can definitely do it that way, but I am going to send you guys a little post in our chat right after we get off of this call. Let me see where it went. And it's just a few things that you could, if you are getting stuck on what to say, you can call or voice text, because I want y'all to practice this, okay, today. I want you to find 3 people to send this voice text to, or call them and say this to. There's 2 options, okay? And you're only going to do it with 3 people, okay? Just 3 people, that's it. But we've got to practice doing these things. And then I'm going to give y'all a couple of tips on this as well. All right. Okay. Y'all have a great rest of your day. If you think of any questions or anything, just let me know in our leaders chat. See y'all later.